An idea can change your life. Well, we have seen this ad many a times, but for stock market investor, it's been not a good idea to change your life investing in the idea stock, or which is now the Vodafone Idea. Well, welcome to the Fast Profits Daily. I am Brijesh Bhatia. In this video, I'll be discussing about what is the future for Vodafone Idea. Well, we have seen a remarkable momentum in the mid cap and small caps in the last few weeks. The stocks Vodafone Idea, Suzlon, and many such big names which have fallen to the single digits are coming back very, very strongly. And Vodafone Idea, we have seen right from 6.5, 7 rupees back towards the double digit about 10 rupees mark. Is this the final bottom for the stock? Or should you invest into the idea which can change your life? Well, before I move on to the charts, this stock is into the talk of the town because we have seen a 15% rally in the last week. And not only the 15% rally, and if I just look at the first chart on your screen, the 15% rally last week was marked by a remarkable volumes. If you look at the lower panel over there, the volumes have been marked. And if you look at these volumes, it's been for the first time since January 2022 that these volumes have been seen. And that point in time when stock was falling from around 15-16 levels towards the 10 levels, at that point in time we saw such high volumes. But this time the table has changed. We are witnessing the volumes onto the bullish momentum with 15% gains. Prior to that, we saw a big rally. If I just look at for the last 8 weeks from the last week, we have seen around 40% rally, 38 point something to be precise, a rally of around 40% in the stock, and with volumes marks a remarkable change into the stock. Well, as an investor, should you go and invest as the stock has seen a huge volumes? Interestingly, if I just look at the lows when the stock has hit somewhere around 4.5 rupees, where if you look at right in June, July 2021, where the volumes peak was there and the stock was there, this time the stock has not breached those levels. Interestingly, if I just look at the current momentum has been slightly with higher low structure after a long time onto the weekly scale. The higher low structure is basically a bullish structure ending the previous fall right from around 16 to somewhere around the 6 marks, where the lower low structure was there. It has been breaking those levels and indicating the trend change into the stock. If I look at the second chart over here, if you look at this blue average, this is 50 weekly exponential moving average. Now 50 exponential moving average have acted as a support as well as resistance for the stock. So if we look at right from 2020, where the stock market have been reversing and the stock has also seen a good comeback right from around 2.5 3 rupees back towards 10 11 12 rupees, and since then 50 was acting as a major support over here. If you look at till probably to 21 mid, that 50 exponential moving average was holding quite a strong support area. We saw an uptick coming on, and then since probably Jan Feb 2022, this blue line, which is 50 exponential moving average, is now acting as a major resistance zone till the few weeks back, where we have seen a 40% rally in the stock, have seen a huge comeback. The stock has managed to close above 50 exponential moving average, the weekly exponential moving average, and the sustainable move has been there. The bulls are coming back very strongly in sync with market's condition over here. So yes, the momentum is, the tide is changing in favor of bulls over here. Looking at the volumes, looking at the 50 exponential moving average, looking at the higher low structure, how long it can go. The third chart which I want to highlight over here is very important. Right from 2016, when the stock has breached the below the 200 weekly exponential moving, if you get the red line, this is basically 200 weekly exponential moving average. Now if you look at this moving average, the stock has breached this moving average, and interestingly, Every time it tested 200 weekly exponential moving average, it has resisted around those levels. We saw back in 2017, it tried to manage to cross above 200 weekly average. It failed, and we saw a downtick again. Back in 2018 start, we saw bulls coming back very very strongly, right from around 40-45 levels back towards 60-65 levels. 200 acting as a major resistance zone over here, and since then 2017 and 2018, we haven't seen stock even testing 200 weekly exponential moving average till date. We have seen, even though we have seen 40% rally in current point in time in last 8 weeks, we haven't tested 200 weekly exponential, which is placed at around 12.57. So probably if I look at the 13, will act as a major resistance zone over here. Till the time 13 is not breached convincingly onto the weekly scale over here, I think it will act as a major hurdle for Vodafone Idea. And interestingly, if you even look at most of the mid cap stocks which have been running successfully, have seen a huge comeback. Even Idea have seen a huge comeback. But yes, most of the stocks which have seen a major comeback are, few of them are quite sustaining about 200 weekly exponential moving average, the red line. And Vodafone Idea, I believe, if in case we sustain about 13, which is still 30% away from the current market prices, which is trading at around 10 rupees. I believe if those those levels are sustainable, probably on the charts, it may turn the tide onto the long term as well. Uh, if I look at the whole structure right from around 2015, 2016, once it broke above below the 200 weekly exponential moving average, every time it tested, there was a shakeout happening, and there was a bears being attacking very very convincingly. Even if you look at right from 2017, whether there was a V-shaped recovery, when during a week it went from around 40 to 45 levels back towards 60 levels, there was a huge uptick over there. But still, that point in time, it has acted as a resistance, the 200 weekly exponential moving average, the red line over here. So I believe yes, 13 will play a major resistance zone. If in case bulls manage to close about 13, we may see the turning that the trend being turning onto the long term charts as well. So for bulls, it is very very important to keep a watch on 13 on a closing basis, and if in case that happens, I think yes, there could be a potential long term bottom in place for the Vodafone Idea. And looking at the technical structure, we have seen a volume uptake. And if I just go as per the volume spread analysis, which means that when there is a big positive bar or positive candlestick candle over there with the spreads, which means that the difference of highs and lows are very much bigger. So in the last week case, it was around 15% close plus. If I just look at the highs and lows, it was somewhere around 17.5, 18% move. 17.5, 18% spread with the volumes which are at around probably, if I just look at the 85 weeks high, indicates that there is accumulation happening into the stock with the market momentum as well over here. So yes, the market momentum is supporting, the volume spread analysis is supporting over there. The stock is trading above the 50 weekly exponential moving average, which is the blue line, which I have seen the second chart. But the major hurdle for me will be at 200 weekly exponential, which is placed at 13. So if in case bulls manage to take around 13, we may see a positive trend building onto the charts over here. So there could be a potentially a long-term base forming onto the charts if in case we break about 13, and a sustainable move will be very much required. We shouldn't see that during a week it has gone above the 13 and a half level, but on a weekly closing basis it's moving back towards 12 and a half. So yes, which has been in the case which we saw in 2016-17, where it went during a week on a daily basis, it went onto the high level, but it was unsustainable and closed onto the lower lines. So yes, it will be very much important we sustained for a couple of weeks above the 13 levels or above the 200 weekly exponential moving average, where the trend change may happen. So keep a finger crossed, and I think this time probably idea can change your life in case we see a close about 13 onto the weekly scale. So there could be a potential bottoming structure happening onto the Vodafone Idea. Signing off, Brijesh Bhatia.